let's talk about the biggest success I've had. And it's not about adding something new, it's about actually taking away. Over the last year, I've tested out a lot of different things for health and life. Try to test to see what's worked, what doesn't. That's been ramped up with the last couple months for sure for me. It's crazy how we're bombarded these days with so many techniques and protocols and systems that people are trying to push out there in the health and aging fields. YouTube, Instagram, I think TikTok, although I'm not on there. Spotify and podcasts are just littered with so many great discussion topics around things related to aging and health. And I fall prey to a lot of those. Maybe you do too, I don't know. I'm in a position where actually I try a lot of them out. I like to test things. I'm always been in a sort of like a guy that likes willing to sort of make a change and see what works and what doesn't work. And it's really, to me, that's part of the fun of life, is like seeing what things work for you. But with that comes some discipline that you need to have, knowing when to stop something that isn't working or isn't working for you, and knowing when to lean into things that might not be, that seem to work for others, but might work for you. So it's really that juxtaposition. It's almost like an entrepreneur starting with an idea. And I tell a lot of people all the time, like, you might think you start with an idea that this is what's going to work, and then you have to shift halfway through because, hey, dogs aren't eating the dog food. It's not working for the market that you're after. You have to adjust. And the same thing with your body and your own systems. That some things work that maybe work for others, or maybe they don't work for you, that work well for others, and having the discipline and make changes that are right for you. All right, so let's start with some of the things that I found that have worked for me, that I've tried over the last year plus, that I think have stuck the best. And a lot of these things are from social media influencers and stuff, but just I find that I like. Number one thing, let's start with cold plunge. I really ramped that up at the beginning of 2025 and liked it so much that over the summer I bought myself a plunge for home. And if I'm home, I'm usually in that plunge every morning. It's just a good way to get the day started. So I found that really stuck for me. The second thing that stuck for me that is really surprising, and I've talked a little bit on this channel, is coffee. I went probably the first 55, 56 years of my life not relying or drinking coffee at all. I was a green tea drinker, and I changed that, and I've really come to enjoy it. And I would say over the last 3 months, I've been on this 1,000-mile challenge. I've really ramped that up, and it's become a much more prominent piece of my health fixture. Here's food cravings in the morning. Find it, I like the way it makes me feel. I don't have a problem with it at night. The other night I had a cup of coffee at 6 o'clock, and that night I had the best sleep of my life, maybe. Like 2+ hours of deep sleep, 2+ hours of REM, 9 or 10 total hours. Crazy. So coffee has been something that I've really found that I've enjoyed. Let's see, what's another thing I've enjoyed a lot is sauna. This sort of goes hand in hand with the cold plunge. I'm finding I'm not doing it as much as I would like, but I do like the idea of this sweat and this taxing my system. So I think it's a good positive one. It also seems to sort of just makes me feel like I'm burning everything cleaner. I don't know why. It's almost like putting in cleaner gas, or maybe it's like changing the oil system as I go in the sauna and I come out and it's like I got a new fresh can of oil in me or something. I don't know what it is. So those things have really worked well for me. All right, let's talk about some things that haven't worked as well. I would say the very first thing It's how I start my morning routine, or let's call it working out in the morning even. I just don't find that that really works for me for some reason. I've tried it and it just doesn't stick. Something that I have not found a way with is that morning routine. I have sort of one, but it's really loose. The second one is how I end the night in my bedtime routine. Now, I have gotten better with getting to bed at a certain time. So usually by 9:30 or 10, I'm in bed. But what I do there, sometimes I've tried just reading. I've tried not being on my device. I've tried sleep masks. Nothing seems to have stuck there. Sort of all over the place with that. It hasn't seemed to have affected my sleep pattern, but I just can't find, besides the time I go to sleep, that has worked, but the actual nighttime protocol, reading under a red light, dimming lights, all those kind of things, has not been something that I've been able to find yet. Technology-wise, it's interesting. Most recently, this happened last week, I tried to move off the Apple iOS Apple system and move to Android. I've been using a Google Pixel phone for the last month. Friday, I decided forget it. Those things have not worked out well that I've tried, and those are all just sort of experiments, right? You try things and you test them, and then you move on quickly if it does not. Let's talk about the biggest success I've had. And it's not about adding something new, it's about actually taking away. I've been able to cut sugars out of my diet pretty significantly. I used to be the guy that would have ice cream every night, or I couldn't go a day almost without having some kind of cookie or some kind of sweets. And I've really effectively cut that out since the beginning of February. And I think that probably has had the biggest impact on my overall health. That and alcohol is the same thing. I haven't completely cut alcohol out. I haven't completely cut sugars out. Let's be clear. But like processed sugars in the form of candies or cakes or cookies or ice cream. Haven't had any ice cream. I did have a couple cookies the other night, which some of you saw in the video I provided. But I'd say sometimes it's about what you take out is more important about what you're trying to put in. And I took out sugars, and probably the most impactful thing I've done. I do miss it, but somehow I've had the discipline to stay with it. The technique I've used is this time-defined eating window, eating within the 8-hour period of like 11 to 7 or noon to 8, and that's after that 7 or 8 o'clock time frame at night is where I've had most of my problems with sugar, and probably destroyed my metabolism and my chemistry of my body for years because of that. So I'm really happy to have maybe rectified that. It's almost like an addict though. Probably never cured of it. It'll always be there, but at least I have now seen a system where it is operating more efficiently, and I can see how that has helped me. So I'd love to know what's helped you. Where have you guys found the most benefit? What have you cut out, or what have you put in to your system to change the dynamic? And have you had the wherewithal to iterate quickly through those tests? And I think those are good things to do, is iterate quickly through it. So that's it for today. Hope to see you out here on the trail tomorrow. Good luck to you out there.